Hello and welcome everybody to this week's Tea and Sympathy with Gillian-Baker. I'm Gillian-Baker and I'm so happy to have you here. When you hop on, even if you're watching a replay, make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section and ask me any questions you might have, or comment on if you have ever grown your own herbs for tea or whatever else is on your mind. It doesn't matter. I'll be happy to respond. So today I am drinking peppermint tea out of one of my very favorite mugs. I love a big mug. And for some reason, this one just seems, try not to spill it on my computer, just seems to be perfect for tea, even though it's larger than what normally we drink tea out of here in the United States. But the reason that I'm drinking this peppermint tea is because I've had a little tummy trouble today. It's probably from all the changes in the weather that we've been having that really affects my sinuses. And I feel like I've got a lot of drainage. And so my stomach's been kind of one of those tea and toast kinds of days. And I found that if I drink a couple of cups of peppermint tea, I'm good the rest of the day. So I tried to drink some coffee this morning like I usually do, and I was like, no, that's not going to go over very well. So I switched to peppermint tea, and I actually grew this peppermint, which is very, very easy to do. So today we're going to talk about what's in this baggie. It's not what you're thinking. It's actually peppermint leaves. And I grow peppermint in my garden so that I can have this all year long. And yeah, I can buy the peppermint tea bags in the store. And last year and last winter, in fact, I had to because I didn't cut enough peppermint tea for all of us to use. So I ended up having to buy some tea bags, which is fine. That's fine. But I really enjoy doing these things myself. And it's so super easy that anybody can do it. And especially with peppermint, peppermint grows like crazy, like a weed. And so if you want to try this at home, make sure that I would suggest putting it in a large planter. And you can start it from seed, or you can get a cut from somebody, or you can buy a plant. Just make sure that it's organically grown so that you're not getting a bunch of pesticides and stuff on the tea that you're going to ingest directly from, the leaves that you're cutting. But what happens is its root system really expands all out. It's like a runner. And so underneath the ground, it sends up all of these new shoots. So if you plant it in something that you can't contain, it's just going to take up your whole yard. You're going to have to be battling it forever. Trust me. The first house my husband and I bought, the lady had a bunch of different herbs and stuff in the back, kind of tucked close to the house. And I didn't know anything about peppermint at the time. And I had a devil of a time trying to keep up with that because it just kept going into the yard and it was so frustrating. And at the time, I didn't realize that that's just what it does. But it was tough to get rid of. Let me tell you, it was an ongoing battle. So play it smart. Keep it in a container if possible, and that way you can keep it in the house in the winter too. So you can have fresh cuttings anytime you want. So I just go out and it's not nice out, so I'm not going to show you all the dead, yucky plants that I've got out there right now. But what I do is I just grow it, and every once in a while I go out and cut some pieces. This is kind of short. I usually do longer pieces, but this was the last cutting, and so there wasn't much left, but I was determined to get the little bit that hadn't died off yet. So it's kind of short, and I just clean off some of the yucky leaves, and then just tie it together with just a piece of butcher string or whatever you have, even thread would probably work. And then I hang it from one of those little things that you hang your mugs on. You know, you can hang them up on your wall, and it's got like 6 places or 8 places for you to hang up your mugs on the wall. That's what I do. I just hang it up like this, and it's fresh. And then within just a few days, it's dried like this. And then I just usually take it outside because it makes a huge mess, and I'm making a huge mess on the floor down here, but that's okay. Um, and then I just take it outside and put some newspaper underneath me and just kind of crumble it up, pull out all the little stems. You can see the stems. I mean, you can leave them in there, but they usually, they can poke you. It's not going to hurt to leave them in. And then when I want tea, I should have put this in a cute little tin or something, because I have a lot of cute little tins. I like tins, but I don't know. I thought it was funny to show you exactly what I have this in right now, because it doesn't look like peppermint tea. So then I have a couple of ways that I use. This is one of my favorite teapots. I got it at IKEA, and I've always loved to have. I always wanted a glass teapot because I don't know, they just look so cool, and it always looks so inviting and refreshing. And so I have that. You can also, I don't know oh, here it is. Oh. You can also put it in a teapot, just put the leaves, the ground leaves, into a teapot, and then use something like this to strain. This is kind of like the old-fashioned way. If you watch any British TV, especially like older stuff, like Poirot or Miss Marple, you'll see them using this. And you just hold it over your mug, over your teacup, and pour the tea out of the pot, and then this just gathers up all of the leaves so that you don't have all your leaves in there. And I just got this at World Market, I think, for just a few bucks, and then you can sit it down in there. So I love this kind of stuff. It's so much fun. So, there are lots of different ways you can do it. This actually has a strainer that you put the tea in the middle there in that mesh, and then just pour the water over it and put the lid back on it and let it steep. Here is another. So you can grow lots of different herbs for tea. And honestly, this is exactly what you're getting in that tea bag that you purchase at the grocery store. It's exactly the same thing. And so it tastes exactly the same. And it's a lot cheaper. You just cut it, from, you can get seeds for, $1. It's really inexpensive. And I don't know, there's something about growing your own stuff. If you've read my bio, you know that I love to garden. I love to grow our own veggies. And this is just one of the things that I really enjoy doing this, because then it gives me a little taste of that summertime, even on the darkest days. Like, it's really nasty outside today and yucky. And yet I have this delicious tea that I can enjoy. And I know that I grew it and that I, created it. And it's nothing special. Anybody can do it. But there's just something about doing little things like that for yourself that, it feels like a treat, and it feels really, makes me feel good about myself to have done something small like that, which maybe is silly. Here's some other tea that I grew. I'm not good at this yet. I'll get better, I promise, guys. But this is lavender, chamomile, and mint mixed together. And this is just really delicious. I love a little lavender in tea. And the chamomile is super easy to grow too. The lavender is trickier depending on what variety you get, but a lot of times I'll just buy an organic plant, because I've never had a lot of success with growing them from seed. I've tried here and back out in Arizona. Never really had much luck with it. So I cheated a little bit and just bought a plant. So you can do that too. But I've given this away also, like in little sachets, to people, and they, it's just like this little treat that people enjoy if they enjoy tea. So I think that's everything I wanted to share with you. I had several ideas of topics today, and I decided to go with this one because my stomach told me that I should. So don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know what you're drinking right now when you're watching this, whether you're live. And by the way, if anybody's here live, I can't see any comments. So that's why I'm not saying hello to you. I know that happened last week that I couldn't see everybody's comments. So I apologize. It's just something with Facebook, I guess. So when you watch this, whether it's live or after the fact, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you're drinking as you're watching. Let me know if you've ever grown any of your own herbs or if you like to garden in general. Tell me how you like to steep your tea, what you like in your tea. This has just got a little sweetener in it, but sometimes I use cream depending on what flavor, what kind of tea I'm drinking. So, tell me anything tea related or anything related to my books or whatever you want to do. And also, I put a link in the description of this particular video. I'd love to get comments back from you about what topics you would like for me to cover on Tea and Sympathy Tuesdays. So I've got quite a few ideas, but I'd love to hear what you guys want to know. So you can ask me questions and I can do a live on that, or whatever crazy ideas you've got. There's a link to contact me. You can just click that and fill out the form and let me know. And I promise to get back to you. So for this week, thank you very much for joining me. And I will see you next week on Tea and Sympathy with Gillian. Bye. Have a great week.